However, Chelsea's woes do continue. We'll take a look at the bottom half of the table in the Premier League, just to kind of highlight that fact as well, if we may. And there is Chelsea in 12th right now.
Why are you laughing, Kay?
No, I'm not laughing, obviously.
That sounded like you were laughing.
Remember that Everton have had a points deduction and they are out of the relegation zone as well with that. Okay, Frankie, when he did sign in for tonight's show, he had a very sad and sombre face, shall we say. And we don't think it's because Barcelona lost to Girona. We think it's because something that happened today, perhaps to his former club Chelsea, has been playing on his mind. Frank, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm thinking that we are showing some highlights about Chelsea, where, in fact, we should go the other way around. We should show the highlights for Everton. Everton has 10-point deduction. They get those points back. They could fight maybe for Europe, where we shouldn't talk about Chelsea. I mean, yes, it's my former club, but really, this is so disappointing. It's the same story. They can't score a goal. They don't know how to fight together. Yeah, they have some players missing, but for the past 2 years, we're always saying the same thing. It's a mid-table club, and we shouldn't talk about that club anymore. We should talk about how Everton is winning games after games, being good, and if they get the 10 points back and go to Europe. But Chelsea, there is nothing there. It's again a mid-table team. We're not able to win against Everton. Lost the last game. Too many defeats already. 7 defeats in 16 games. Well, that's an average team, and that's what it is, and that's only being realistic. I would have said something else. Otherwise, I would be unfair to the other 19 clubs.
Listen, credit to Sean Dyche and the Everton players right now, but we will continue to talk about Chelsea. I mean, we have to, because Pochettino has also said that Chelsea must sign more players in January to fix the many problems they have. Just a reminder, they spent $1 billion over the past 3 windows. And it really does feel as though the pressure is mounting on Pochettino, Stevie.
I don't think it's mounting on Pochettino, to be honest with you. I mean, you just got to look at the stats again from today. Nearly 3/4 of the possession of the whole game, and they've got the ball.
Is he right then to say that they need more players in
January? Absolutely. I mean, look, the defence, no question, should be tighter, and they would like it to be tighter. But they've got to the stage now where, when they lose a goal, the whole team's going, oh no, we're in trouble now. Because they know they can't score. and it's happened so often that you can't avoid it anymore. We all go, well, listen, you lose a goal, so you should go, right, let's get after it. But when it happens time after time after time, it's like getting hit on the back of the head with a hammer. Eventually you just give up. And so every time they go behind... Eventually
you just give up? How strong's your head?
Every time they go behind...
How many hits are you taking?
I've had a lot of hits, I'm going to say. But eventually, everybody, when they lose a goal, goes, wow, we're in trouble. How are we going to get out of this? Because it's staring Pochettino in the face, and he's 100% right. They need to do something with the front line, because the amount of ball they get and the production from the amount of ball they get, it's just ridiculous. I mean, Pickford wasn't even under any pressure. I mean, that is ridiculous. To be able to have nearly 75% of the ball away from home at a place like Everton and not even really test the goalie, then you can see what the problem is. And Pochettino, for me, is absolutely right.
If he gets what he wants in January, then, is he the man to turn it around, Frank?
I don't think so. I mean, when he signed, and he has to take responsibility for the decision that he made, accepting the role and saying, okay, I'm going to try to do something with the players. But we all knew at the end of the season that would be the same thing, because they went into something that it's unbearable to resolve. It's impossible because you sign too many young players who are talented but inexperienced. You get rid of the experienced players. Now you want to do the trading business. So it's going to take a time, but you have to accept the fact that you're not able to play like the others or like you used to play. And that's something, for me, it's impossible to resolve right now. And it's going to take years before Chelsea is back to maybe what we saw before. But as long as they take and they employ only young players, they're going to face that because the pressure from the fans, the media, because Chelsea, of course, shouldn't be 12th, is going to be huge. And it's going to destroy everybody. Leipzig, it's another club, or Salzburg, they built something like that. But they were under no pressure. They had the time to build that. And they got the, as we say in French, the fruit of what they seeded. But really, Chelsea, it can't last long. People's going to get upset with the billion that they pay. They're going to buy people in January where in the middle of the park. So you're going to put Caicedo 100 million and Enzo Fernandez one other 100 million on the bench because you're going to buy players. No, they're going to play. So you're not going to resolve the problem.
What possible good would it be to get rid of Pochettino, though? I mean, Frank's just said there that they've got too many young players and they need other players. I mean, that's what Pochettino's saying. So surely getting rid of Pochettino isn't going to help at all.
No.
How does that help?
Agree.
So just be same old story.
No, but I agree with Stevie. I think it's not the point. It's why the last season when I say would you accept the job? No, because you cannot resolve the job, and you can take anybody. You can even take Pep Guardiola. Well, maybe not. Maybe he can do a miracle, but Pochettino is doing what he can with the player that he has, and that's the main problem. It's like you cannot resolve the problem because you got rid of what is important in life overall is the experience, and it brings many things with the wisdom, the tightness, the thing that you're going to work together. Where now we see one good player with one good player with one good player with one good player, but not a squad, not a team. So it doesn't work.
Of all the things that Frank said there, I think the one that resonates the most with me is that this is not a short-term problem for Chelsea, because the players that they have signed for seemingly 1,000 years. They're all long-term deals and long-term contracts. And so even if you're trying to get rid of players, then you have to be willing to take losses, and it's major losses on these players because the other teams around the world, other clubs around the world know your situation, know your desperation, and know the fact that you have given all these long-term contracts that are impossible to buy yourself out of, unless, of course, you take a major loss. And so it's not just one long-term contract that is a problem. It's decision after decision after decision. And so when you think about Chelsea and you project into the future, it's not like, hey, we buy players in January, we're going to be okay. Not quite. It may be January, it may be summer, it may be the other January, it may be the other summer, until you start finding a core group of players that you can actually trust to put out on the field. And how do you go about doing that? Then you have to make smart decisions. And what we know from Chelsea, because it's what we have seen, have they made smart decisions? No. To trust them to make smart decisions, that's a major problem. And that's indeed why I think this is not, hey, let's fix it in January. It's not going to happen. That's not realistic.